I will record this last part of the session just in case if Darren couldn't make it here, then I'll just send the recording to him. Okay, so I'll repeat again for this one. For your information, I'll just record down and then I'll send the link in the group. Okay, in case if you miss something or you want to just rewatch it. Okay. Now, just now we talked about converting square numbers. Okay, convert 1 meter square into millimeter square. Okay, now this is new, everybody. This is new, different from the previous one. Now, meter square into millimeter square, how do we do this? First is that you break it down. 1 meter square is equal to 1 meter times 1 meter, right? 1 meter times 1 meter, because meter times meter, you get meter square. Okay, so you break it down like this so that you don't have to deal with the square. Now, equal, since 1 meter is equals to 1000 millimeter, right? So this one becomes 1000. 1000 millimeter times 1000 millimeter, right? Okay, so next is that you multiply them together. You multiply by the numbers. So you have 1000 multiplied by another 1000. What do you get? You get 1 million. 1 and then 6 zeros, right? 6 zeros. And then millimeter multiplied by millimeter, then millimeter square. Okay, so the answer is this one. 1 meter square equals to 1 million millimeter square. So here's how we do it. Okay, how do we do the square numbers? If it's cube, what do you do? If it's cube, like 1 meter cube, it's the same thing. You just add another one. For example, 1 meter cube is equals to 1 meter times 1 meter, and then you times one more time, 1 meter. Okay, so equals to 1000 millimeter times 1000 millimeter and times another 1000 millimeter. Okay, so the final answer is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 zeros millimeter cube. It's like 1 billion. Okay, 1 billion millimeter cube. Okay, write this down. Write this down. I'll give you 2 minutes. Write this down. Yeah, okay. Done? Or you need another 2 minutes?
Hold on.
Okay, you go to the next question. Okay, how about this? 4dm square convert 4dm square into m square. Okay, so equals, now 4dm square, this one, you break it down. 4dm square means that 4dm times 1dm. Okay, 4 times 1 equals to 4. dm times dm equals to dm square. And that's when you get 4dm square. Okay, so I break it down like this. So 4dm times 1dm. Now, what do I do next? So equals to, so 4dm, I convert 1 by 1. This one, I convert this one to m. Okay, I convert this one to m. So dm to m is 4. dm is prefix, right? Prefix to base. dm to m. So 4 prefix to base, we times. 4 times the factor of d is 10 power of minus 1. Okay, the factor of d is 10 power of minus 1. And then we have times. This one also we change. 1 times 10 to the power of minus 1. Okay, so equals to, this is 0.4 times 0.1. Okay, we change, meaning that I change this one. This one is equal to 0.1 actually. If you change to ordinary number, you just type that into a calculator, and then you should get the final answer. 0.4 times 0.1. Okay, 0.4 times 0.1, so you get 0.4 times 0.1, 0.04 m square. Okay, so this is m, this is m, m times m, you get m square. Copy down this one. Okay, so we look at one final example. Let me erase this one. We look at one final example and then you can do some exercises. Okay, 3mm square into m square. Break down this one. 3mm square meaning that 3mm times 1mm. Okay, 3mm times 1mm. Now convert this one 3mm to meter. Convert 3mm to meter, so you get 3 milli prefix to base unit. So times 3 times 10 to the power of negative 3, right? 3 times 10 to the power of negative 3. And then times 1 times 10 to the power of negative 3. And these two are in meter, meter and meter. Okay, this one becomes this one becomes this one. Equal. This one, summarize it, simplify it. Okay, so I can write like this. 3 times 10 power of negative 3 times 1 times 10 power of negative 3 and becomes meter square. Okay, meter square. Now 3, this one times this one. Because we arrange it, we arrange factor and factor, number and number. This is factor, this is factor, this one times this one. So it's like this one, 3 times 1, and then times 10 to the power of negative 3 times 10 power of negative 3 m squared. Okay, so this one becomes 3 and times minus 3, and you will get minus 6. M squared, final answer. Okay, so we have a question here. Let me see. This one I'm just showing you the example. I'm just showing you the example of how to do the square. Okay, it's considered revised, but it's the new one. You haven't learned this before. You haven't learned this before. So I'm just showing you the examples, how to do it, how to do when you're dealing with the square numbers. You have learned all the unit conversion. Okay, you need that. You need that to do this. But this is just if the number is a square number, how do you do it? Okay, if the number is square number, you break it down. You break it down like this one. The first line, 3mm square, you break it down to 3 millimeter times 1 millimeter, and then you do conversion for each, for the 3 millimeter and for 1 millimeter. Okay, and then you multiply it together. Right? Okay, let us log out and log back in for the last 20 minutes.